Today is the 25th anniversary of the concert to end the world. Well, that's what we joked as it being, but it was actually the Kix 96 Millennium concert in Savannah, Georgia. We had this free concert in Forsyth Park, which is beautiful. About 30 acres, a hallmark of Savannah, and we brought in 10,000 guests for a free concert with at least 4 country artists. I can only remember 4, and I went through all my old stuff. I could not find anything with the names of all of the artists, so I'm only going by memory. I know we had Shane McAnally, Sherry Austin, John Barry, and Diamond Rio. Diamond Rio was the headline artist. And because of that, they were supposed to be the only artist that had a full band for the show. Everybody else was supposed to be acoustic. Shane McAnally performs, he's acoustic, sounds good. He was a newer artist at the time, so people were just starting to learn about him. Sherry Austin performs with a full band. I think she was right after Shane McAnally. Not positive, but I know she was not long before John Barry. So she was supposed to be acoustic, but at the last minute decided to bring her whole band. And did, and it was wonderful. Then when it's John Barry's turn to go on, he's not happy that he couldn't bring a full band. Instead, he stole the show. He didn't know it at the time, but we found out the following week when people kept calling and saying, John Barry was incredible. It was just him and a guitar and a stool and a microphone, and he sounded so good. He stole the show. But then they asked the question, why didn't he perform his biggest song, Your Love Amazes Me? It's just how things rolled. And then Diamond Rio, of course, was great performing at the end. And I think one of the members even winked at me from the stage. Mike was next to me. I said, did you see that? It was funny. It was a wonderful time, something that people talked about for years. And it was only about a year after I started working at Kix 96. And that's why, another reason why it means so much to me, and I've kept this shirt for so long. Another funny thing about the concert, right now, these days, there is a concert shell in Forsyth Park in Savannah, but back then there wasn't. We had the concert on the side where the shell is now, but we had to bring in a stage. That day, the day of the concert, as we're setting up the stage, City of Savannah comes along and says, you know what, you can't have any wheels on the grass, which would have meant we couldn't have put up the stage because we'd need to wheel not we, but the crew needed to wheel the parts to put up the stage. So the general manager at the time went to a local hardware store and got a bunch of plywood, laid it on the grass, they rolled over it, and I think at the end it got scrapped, which I thought was a shame, but that's how we got around that. It was a whole lot of fun. If you were there, if you remember it, I would love to hear your stories. Another thing about the concert is that because I was still pretty new with Kix 96, I had never been on stage in front of that many people before. And I was so nervous. I let the guys talk first because I needed to hear what they were saying to kind of warm myself up. I was so nervous. I don't remember what I said on stage because when I get really nervous, I forget what I say. But I got through it, and now I've been on stage in front of hundreds, thousands of people so many times in the last 25 years that I can do it and not be so nervous that I forget everything I say. It was cool. It was a part of my radio history. So if you were there, I'm glad you got to enjoy it, and I'd love for you to post a comment about the show.